if you look at ancient depictions of African people in antiquity, you will find that both men and women held prominent roles in governance, in the development of sciences and disciplines, in the teaching of sciences and disciplines, in warfare and protection of the people. And so, even in the pantheon of gods, our people represented men and women with dignity, respect, and with their proper regard. So, to see that the religions that were derived from this school of thought, from the Africans who actually developed religion, right? Africans developed religion. So, what I'm saying, to see that somehow we would have interpreted their knowledge as being um, skewed in terms of either masculinity or femininity, right? So I said all that to say this. Carbonation, oops, both carbonation and ISUPK have a particular focus, which is about um, patriarchy, right? All of these groups, religious groups, appear to have this focus on oppressing women, putting women beneath the feet of men, or placing women at the bottom of the totem pole in some form or some fashion, right? I look at the carbonation situation, and most recently, Nature Boy came out. Um, First of all, he echoed the sentiments of one of my videos. But what he did was he came out and said that he would like it if his wife didn't even talk. He's saying a woman who is Nature Boy's wife shouldn't even speak. You should just look at her and see her beauty, and that's it. And I see that in also in ISUPK, the Hebrew Israelite organizations in general, all seem to place women at the bottom of the totem pole, and they discourage women from being prominent speakers, prominent leaders, and you know, it seems like it is a mainstay. It is a pillar of their organizations. The fact that even in carbonation, it seems that it is being perpetuated as a natural law, right? But as you can see in the development of the African civilizations, this was not a main feature, you know. But in the Rastafari community, we try to discourage that type of thinking, you know, and namely in the Nyabingi, we try to encourage a balance between men and women, you know. But it also seems to be a feature in other aspects. There are some people who call themselves um, Rastas today. They also practice that tradition, whereas um, it is more a patriarchal arrangement where women can't speak. And that's something I don't support that in any way. And so I see it taking place in carbonation and also in ISUPK. And I see that the sister Ashe Divine is beginning to shed some light on this organization and let people know about the inner workings of these kind of organizations. Because you will find that it is almost like 100% certainty that in an organization where they tell women that they are not equal and that they have to treat them in a certain disrespectful regard, it is certain that there's some type of physical abuse taking place in these types of organizations. So people, we got to really analyze our leaders. We have to recognize that many of the biblical accounts that we would live our life by, we would find that these are actually the misinterpretations of European scholars. And so it would give us the impression that we must live our social arrangements in the way that they did, but you have to recognize that a lot of the people translating this came from cultures where that was a main aspect of their culture, dominating the females in the community, you know. So I would just like to make this statement against organized religion in general. If they would place women beneath men in any kind of way, when we have to recognize that we have a balance, we have to strike a balance between men and women. We are equal, right? We have various inclinations that are distinct to men and women. We have inclinations that are distinct to men and women, right? But if the opportunity arises or the situation arises, we are all willing to step in to even those roles that we feel they are prescribed for the women. For example, let me make an example now. If your wife is at work, you home with the child needs nurturing, the child needs to be fed, the child needs to be clothed and bathed and cleaned and, protected. You're not gonna sit down and watch TV and say, you know what, I'm gonna wait 8 hours until my wife comes home so she could change the child's diaper or so that she could, you know what I'm saying? And in another sense, um, in terms of prescribed roles for men, if you are at work and your children need um, discipline and education, all right, and knowledge, she's not gonna say, all of that is gonna wait until you come from work. She's gonna step in and guide the family and direct the family in terms of disciplining the children in your absence. You know, so people just had to make that short video clarification statement before somebody misconstrues what I had to say in this video. Yeah, but I mean, oppressive religion, we need to destroy the myth of inequality between men and women and allow us to grow in a balance with each other. But people, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. One love.